Do not take your father for granted. These are not words of advice from me to you, but a mantra that bears repeating for my own sake. As a relatively new dad, I'm trying to figure out how to do it right. How to be loving, firm, and fair. Unfortunately, being a dad is not my only role. I, like all of you, have to prioritize my hours. And after having my third child, 24 hours in a day is just not enough. I've thought and journaled about this very subject. What is most important? How do I even determine a list of what's important? What's worth my finite and ever-shortening time? Looking inside myself, I've found very little that's helpful. This leads me to the title of this video, My Father. On our second motorcycle trip, I'm going to ask my dad some questions that I cannot answer myself. I will rely on him to give me something that I cannot obtain on my own, the wisdom of a father. The first question I asked was, looking back on your life, did you feel like you spent a good balance at home versus at work? I foolishly thought he would say what the popular culture says. It seems that in this day and age, men are told that they should be home more, that they should have a good, quote, work-life balance. I expected my dad to say something like, yes, I've spent way too much time at work and I should have been home more. This was not what I got. He said, sure, I probably spent too much time at work. I would have liked to have been home more, but it's hard not to say that. You will always want to have been home more. And he left it at that. At first I was disappointed, but as I thought on it for a few days, I realized how freeing it was. My drive to be at work is not something that I should feel guilty about. Another bit of wisdom I learned from him on this trip was that I needed to have grace with myself and with the stage of life that I'm in. I like to read books or listen to audiobooks. I've gone through a fair number of books claiming to offer some advice to simplify my life or to make me more efficient. But I found one glaring problem with all of them. These so-called self-help books never mention kids. This makes me want to pull my hair out. How can they be targeting young professionals and not account for the major time commitment that children bring into your life? It's particularly frustrating because when I account for the hours needed to devote to one of these programs, I'm like 6 hours short per day. And then I start to feel like I'm not disciplined enough to accomplish what they imply is possible because I'm trying to be available to my wife and kids. I brought this up to my dad, and as is his way, he simply said that in this time of life you can't expect to have a lot of time, but you do not want to be somewhere else when you're with your kids. Do not think you could be doing something else when you're with your kids. That time is important. These statements were and are profound to me, and they're not from some productivity guru. They were simple, to the point, from someone who went through it. Another wise thing that I gleaned from the conversation is that when you're at work, be at work, and when you're home, be at home. This was definitely something I needed to hear. I know that I'm very distracted both at work and at home, and it's not fair to anyone, particularly my family. When I'm at home with my kids, there is this attraction to being distracted by my phone, to not be present. That little rectangle in my pocket always seems to be trying to distract me when I'm trying to play with my kids. When I was young, one of the things my family would do every summer was go camping. I have such great memories of playing by Lake Billy Chinook with my friends and my sisters. It all seemed so simple and carefree. Then I took my family camping, only this time I was playing the role of father. It was quite a different experience. It was not simple, and it was not carefree at all. Everyone had fun, but I'd say that making sure that we had everything, everyone was safe, and we all came home in one piece was stressful. I asked my dad about this and he just laughed. He said, yeah, it's a lot of work going to camping. You're taking everything you need to survive for a week and making a home for your family. That is definitely what it felt like. And then he said, "When you were little, you guys all had such a good time that it was all worth it for me. There's nothing better to a kid than going camping." And then he said, "You're the dad now." I'm the dad now. Those words. How can we know if we're making the right decision in life's many choices? If we always play it safe, the decisions are easy. But if we're out on the edge, pushing ourselves and doing hard things, where does guidance come from? Well, the most simple answer is our fathers. Wisdom comes from those who have come before us, and those who have lived just like us and can tell us their mistakes and their triumphs. They can tell us how to live. For me, as a new dad, I should heed the words of my father. Work-life balance is not something to stress over. Expect to have very little time. Be home when you're home, and don't take your father for granted.